News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Denise Pellegrini. People are scrambling from all over to help after the deadly flooding killed at least 70 people in central Texas. The search for survivors and for bodies continues. Andrew Tull is chairman of the board of Texas Search and Rescue, a nonprofit specializing in emergency response.
Everything from downed lines to some very, very treacherous hills, steep slopes, very, very slippery slopes. There is an incredible amount of mud and silt that is pervasive throughout the entire area.
President Trump says he has signed a major disaster declaration for Kerr County, Texas. More possible damaging rain still in the forecast. Gregory Galena of the National Weather Service.
There'll still be a chance of the thunderstorm activity in the vicinity. Overall, the pattern is diminishing, but still the seeds for the environment still to produce thunderstorms capable of heavy rain are still within the environment for the next day or so.
Mounting criticism, meantime, about how some people did not get warnings early enough in advance. The U.S. is apparently close to clinching some trade deals ahead of a July 9 deadline. According to Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent,
we are close to several deals. As always, there's a lot of foot dragging on the other side, and so I would expect to see several big announcements over the next couple of days.
Bessent also telling CNN's State of the Union countries that don't have deals will face higher tariffs starting in August. It's not clear, but that could indicate countries might be able to negotiate or finalize deals after the July 9 deadline to have a deal or get slapped with President Trump's reciprocal tariffs. The UK has a deal with the U.S. The U.S. and EU are still negotiating this weekend. Japan's prime minister says there are no easy tariff compromises. South Korea is asking for an extension to this Wednesday's deadline. Ceasefire negotiations in the Mideast facing a new setback. Israel's prime minister's office says the changes Hamas is requesting to make to the Qatari proposal were unacceptable to Israel, and after Hamas said it had submitted a positive response to a U.S.-backed 60-day ceasefire proposal. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will be meeting with President Trump tomorrow. Investors also watching for market reaction after President Trump signed his new tax and spend bill into law Friday. Here's Stephen Myron, chair of the White House Council of Economic Advisors.
What the people who predict big deficits don't understand is that economic growth is going to soar in response to these policies. If you give massive incentives for investment, huge incentives for new factories, full expensing on new factories, full expensing on equipment, full expensing on R&D expenditures, that incentivizes more of this stuff. You're going to get more people investing in factories as a result of these tax benefits. More investment means more income means more tax revenue.
Meantime, former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers says the legislation will hurt many Americans.
There is no economist anywhere without a strong political agenda who is saying that this bill is a positive for the economy. And the overwhelming view is that it is probably going to make the economy worse.
Former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers. Elon Musk announcing a new political party. Musk had previously threatened to launch a new party and vowed to boost his political spending to unseat lawmakers who voted for President Trump's bill. We could learn more on a possible buyer for the U.S. operations of TikTok this coming week. It's currently owned by Chinese company ByteDance. President Trump says the U.S. will discuss a TikTok deal with China tomorrow or Tuesday. The president has previously said the buyer was a group of wealthy entities. Jurassic World Rebirth biting off $318 million at the global box office. The newest installment in the Jurassic World franchise ruled the 4th of July holiday box office with a global 5-day launch, according to studio estimates. The Universal Pictures release, directed by Gareth Edwards, opened on Wednesday. It earned more than $147 million in its first 5 days in North American theaters. And that's News When You Want It with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Denise Pellegrini, and this is Bloomberg.